Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg. Um, yeah. So last week I did the episode at I don't know what it was. It was late. It was like 9 o'clock or something. And so this week I was like, oh, I guess I should do it earlier. I should do it at like 3. But then, yeah, I just kept on playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and just kept going. It's just like, it's so hard to fucking stop. I had to really force myself. Yeah, I mean, that's... Truth be told, normally every January, I do Mangg's best games of that year. And I didn't do one this year. And that's because, honestly, at least half the list for me would have been games not released in 2022. I discovered just a lot of like older, not that old, but you know, not brand new games, and just fell in love with them. Stuff like Total War and Stellaris and Factorio, and just like, it's just really good stuff that I overlooked in the past. So what's the point of putting them on a list of the best games of the year? But I didn't really love that many games from last year. Aside from Elden Ring, I mean, what was there? I'm sure there was some stuff. I'd have to look over a list of games released last year. But anyways, yeah, Wrath of the Righteous, very good, very fucking good. I would say overall I like it better than Baldur's Gate 2, which has always been like the high bar for CRPGs for me. It's really just got everything that I would want in a CRPG. It's turn-based, insane character customization, mod support, an epic storyline, and you know, just an incredible mass of content. It's really good. And the developers, Owlcat, they're doing a 40K CRPG, which is long overdue. It's a CRPG in the 40K universe that's using Rogue Trader as sort of the foundation. I don't know what rule set they're using. I didn't look into that. There isn't really a good 40K RPG. The most recent one is called Wrath and Glory. It's not great. A lot of people still think the best one is like the OG Rogue Trader game from decades ago. I kind of doubt they'll use that as the foundation of a modern CRPG, so maybe they'll just use their own rule set. I think Rogue Traders is probably the best way to go about doing a 40K CRPG. With like, because you can really just have kind of any sort of mix of characters involved when it comes to Rogue Traders and their crew. It's not just like, well, we're all Space Marines. That does not make for an awesome CRPG. You want to have this big amount of variety, so I think that's great. My only concern is like, you know, Wrath of the Righteous and Kingmaker and stuff using Pathfinder, it allows for just this insane degree of character customization. Because why did this get reversed now? Fuck. When you have magic involved and stuff, and you have all these different fantasy classes and things, you can really go hog wild. And so right now my party consists of, like, you know, a dwarf that dual wields axes, and I've got a gnome that's riding a horse with a big hammer, and I've got like an angelic sort of sorceress, and I've got a succubus that uses a bow and arrow, and yeah, there's just so many possibilities when it comes to a fantasy setting. Whereas 40K, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a decent amount of variety, you know, with a rogue trader crew. You can have inquisitors, you could have Psycasters, and you can have Ogrins, and you could have theoretically, I guess you could have alien species. I assume that's what's going to happen. So we'll see, but you know, as far as like the quality of their games so far, I'm really fucking impressed with like the writing and everything. So that's definitely going to be a let's play, no doubt. And my let's play of Wrath of the Righteous is going to be very long. I'm now skipping a lot of content and just doing it on my own. But even still, it's going to be a lot. Anywho, this week on this channel we had Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is going to finish pretty soon. Shouldn't be too long. I think I just uploaded part 15 out of 20. So probably not this week, but very soon it will end. And we finished up Dead Space Remake. Only 12 parts to that one, so not overly long. And I debated between uploading some Wild Hearts videos or starting up Wo Long. I made the perhaps questionable decision to go with Wo Long, which crashed twice throughout the first video. And I don't think there's been any patch. Let me check. They announced like 2 days ago that there's obviously going to be a patch soon that will address some issues, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make me super pumped to go back to it if it's going to keep crashing. So I'm going to try recording another video tonight. We'll hope that it doesn't crash. Fingers crossed is all I can say. Also, Lego and I have been continuing Divinity Original Sin 2, so there's been a lot of CRPGs going on in my life, and he's been really enjoying it, and I obviously enjoy it 'cause I put a lot of time into that game. Although now whenever I play it, it's like, oh man, if only it was like this, or if only it was like this compared to Wrath of the Righteous. I really cannot stop praising that game. It's shocking that I slept on it for so long, and that's really a lesson learned. Because I bought that game a few years ago and I played it for like half an hour and I didn't touch it until now. And it's crazy. That can happen, I guess. Yeah, so I think we're gonna just continue with Divinity until one of us is like, oh, okay, we should move on. I still doubt we'll beat it, but you know, we made it to Driftwood now, and we seem to be doing pretty well. So who knows? And now we're kind of steadily streaming 2 days a week. Not 2 full streams, but it's like 1.5 streams a week. So progress can be made. So that's that. Over on the Exploring series, I released part 4 of Mom, Jewel, and Karar. And tomorrow you will see the finale, part 5. Long time coming. I knew as soon as he messaged me on Discord, Rounderhouse, and was like, hey, I released this. I knew then, I'm like, okay, that's going to be my whole fucking February. And so it was. Very good SCP, though. Fuck. Very good author. You know, my struggles with using, summarizing events with involving a they, them pronoun sort of thing aside. And that really came to a head. That problem really came to a head right at the end. There was a paragraph where a character was talking about the Foundation. And they were talking to Galanis about the Foundation and the Council, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm using they for like 3 different characters and organizations here, and it's just like no one is gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna just repeat the name over and, you know, the different names over and over. It sounds even worse. That sounds terrible. So I just have to hope that people will get it. Nice. You likey. And I haven't really been looking at comments too much on these videos. I don't know what people have been saying about that issue, if there's been confusion or not. You know, I do my best. That's all I can do. Fuck. So that's that. That'll be done. And I think next I'm working on bird SCPs to go along with cats, dogs, and mice. Rodent. That's what I called it. Yeah, that makes most sense. Rodent SCPs. Also on the polls currently is arachnid SCPs. I don't imagine that will be chosen for quite a while. I don't like spiders at all, but you know, there's a lot of arachnid SCPs because spiders scare people. So, of course, it's going to be SCP. Still undecided about switching off of SCP. It's tough, man. I was thinking back to... I was thinking back to when Tim Cook emailed me. And it's like, I would never think of Tim Cook being interested in SCP. But, like, why not? And it's really fucking cool that if you're, you know, probably a bit older and you're not into watching, like, animated shit, I'm sort of near the top of channels that you might engage with for SCP video content. And that's just really cool. You know, it's cool to be a big fish in a little pond. And SCP is always going to be kind of a little pond because of the, you know, the license rights. It's never going to be that big. Whereas, yeah, I could get into 40K and really become a probably a pretty decently sized 40K channel. I don't know if I'd ever be at the top because I don't do clickbait stuff. You know, I don't do like top 10 Space Marine chapters or something like that, because it's not what I do. But that's the kind of stuff that people click on. That's the kind of stuff that gets spread around because that incites sort of argument, and that it incites engagement. My content never really incites that much engagement. But 40K is just going to be, you know, bigger and bigger thing. It's going to have a big time mainstream television show, and who knows where it goes from that. And I think more and more people are going to be attracted to 40K because it's just, you know, grimdark, over the top sci-fi, which is kind of something we don't have in sort of mainstream media. So I'd be a smaller fish in a bigger pond. Now, that could certainly mean more viewership overall, meaning more ad revenue overall. But I don't know. There's something just nice and sort of communal about SCP that I would lose if I went elsewhere. Like I said, I'll never stop SCP no matter what. I'm always going to cover whatever DJ Cactus is doing or Rounderhouse is doing, or, you know, if Metaphysician comes out with some boss-ass SCP, or, you know, all these different authors. But I would never, you know, at that point, I wouldn't be doing bird SCPs. So I guess it's a question of how much does the community appreciate bird SCPs? And when I think of it that way, then maybe it's a little clearer of just like trimming the fat. Let me just look. I just want to look at my top videos of all time. Where does like a bird SCP kind of video come in compared to single SCPs? All right, so I mean the Hanged King video is kind of a compilation. That's not a single SCP, and that's let me see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's number 11. But right next to it, at number 12, is one of my 40K videos. So there's an audience for that. But the interesting thing about the 40K is that's like my most clickbaity thing. Sort of. I mean, it's kind of like a very focused topic of creating a Space Marine. But then again, it's number 10 is the Cthulhu Mythos and Bloodborne video, which was a very like odd thing that I decided to do. It's a very one-off kind of video. That's interesting. It's in my top 10, whereas the other 9 consist of 8 SCP videos and 1 Cthulhu Mythos video. Oh, I guess at number 12, actually, or 13. Number 13 is beneficial SCPs. So that's pretty good. And number 15 is aquatic SCPs. Number 16 is actually the reading I did for the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. That's insane. Because that was super easy to do. I mean, it was literally just a reading of a document. So that's really impressive. And then right behind that is Shadow over Innsmouth. And then I've got the Blair Witch mythology in there. Exploring Middle-earth Morgoth is actually pretty decently high at 1.4 million views. My Norse mythology video on Odin is up there with 1.3 million views. It's actually pretty varied. It's more varied than I think, I guess. I mean, obviously SCP is bread and butter, and most of this is SCP. But I've had some hits. If you scroll down far enough to get to like the just under 1 million range, there is the Final Fantasy XIV video, which is very nice. I mean, 1 million is kind of more than I would have expected from that whole thing. Hard to say. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I've said multiple times, I'm conflicted, I'm unsure. I think that now that Mom, Jewel, and Kara are done, it's going to come a bit more into focus, because now I'm going to have to start every week thinking of more SCP topics to do. And that's usually when I think like, oh boy. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not scraping the barrel, but I spent a lot of time like scrounging to come up with good topics and good articles and things. Whereas if I had to come up with a poll of 10 40K options right now, it would be really easy. So that's like, I don't know. I don't want to belabor this, so that's that for now. You know, you can look forward to bird SCPs at least. All right, I think that's really all I have to talk about. I have to go get dinner going. So, more Gloomhaven. At least one more Wo Long video will be uploaded, I'm almost certain. If it crashes again, like at least once, then maybe we'll switch to Wild Hearts. Or I'll just start uploading Pathfinder, I don't know. Final part of Mom, Jewel, and Kara tomorrow, just under an hour. And that's that. For now, my name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. And I'll see you fine folks next week.